Alexa.
Hey everyone.
Hey everybody. Hey everybody. What's up? What's up?
It's your girl
All right.
Robin.
And welcome to 40.
Hey. Where you're what, Yuva?
Huh? I just
Old
looked.
enough to know, but young enough to grow.
That's right. We are. Yeah, you remember this week.
I
I'm
did.
so Yes. 40 is that magical age, y'all. And if y'all new to joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so glad to have you. Um, 40 is that wonderful magical age. It's like, it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. I know a lot of people are apprehensive about turning 40, but let me tell you, it's a learning process. It's a period that we are getting through. And hopefully, if you're joining us, we getting through it together. This is your first ever vlogcast because we got a little video, little podcast. And if you want to join us in, you can come on in and we'd love to hear from you in the chat. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share, do
That button.
whatever you feel you want to do, but let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. All right. Tonight's topic is a
What
little
you talking about
funny.
tonight, girl?
It is funny. Hey, big girl, my sister-in-law, Sharon Alexander. What's up, girl?
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. Yes, I'm trying. I'm like twisting all around here. Here we go. All right, now I'm center screen. So tonight we're talking about: Are you too old to be at the club?
We have differences in opinion here.
Yeah, we definitely have a difference of opinion, but I don't think so. I think once we get to talking, we'll probably come to a general consensus here. But are you too old? Okay. Do you want to start or do you want me to start? Because let me start
I'm
and let me share my
the
story.
she's an
The
antagonist.
pros and cons, according to Yuva. Yuva girl.
Okay.
Yuva girl.
Oh, pros and cons? Okay, I like to hear this.
Okay. Well, mostly cons. Okay, so let me just briefly tell my story. So I've
Okay.
been clubbing officially, not officially, since I was about 16 because I had older sisters and older cousins that I like to hang with. And I was trying to be grown, trying to be fast. Not really fast, but just wanted to hang out with the big girls. And none of my friends were able to hang out or go out. And I think you really can't get into clubs like that. So we're from the DMV, y'all. Anybody joining us on YouTube, DC,
Shout out to
Maryland,
DMV.
Georgia, Virginia. And so we had go-go's. Um, they
Are
were,
those
go-go,
clubs?
you should know go-go music.
Are they
Yeah, we had go-go's, clubs. And so I used to, me and my sister, Fabian, look alike. So sometimes I used to borrow her ID to get in the clubs. So I've been doing this since I was like 16. And by the time I got to like 19, 20, I was over it. And when I say over it, I mean, it was just like you see the same people. We go to different clubs, we still see the same people. And then when my cousins were they old enough and we started hanging out, my cousins that are my age, we would go see the same people. And you just be like, everybody's just faking because you put everybody putting on their best clothes, putting on these false pretenses. And really, I've never met anybody that I seriously dated at a club. I'm just going to put that first and foremost. I went there to get a drink. If it was ladies' night, the drinks were free before a certain time. It was just I don't like to dance because every time I dance, some weirdo comes up and creeps up behind me, and I'd be like, "Man, I just want to dance. Just leave me alone." And so it was frustrating after a certain point. It's exciting and new when you're firstly going to the clubs, but then after that, it becomes just old. And I was over it seriously by the time I was like 20, 21. I was just like,
Okay.
and when I would go to all different kind of clubs. Now, mind you, my older sister had me hanging out at clubs that were multicultural clubs. So we would do, and then my mom, when I go out with my mom, she liked the African clubs, soca lounges.
Okay.
We went to clubs we partied with white folks. It was just
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was just going to one type of club, but I was just over the whole club scene at a certain point. And so
Okay.
I think that's what it is. But
So what's the
okay,
so
let's
what's the
hear your
pros? What's
experience.
your pros and your cons?
The pros, it's fun if you're in that mind space. Like,
Okay.
we've had some, definitely had some interesting, some scary experiences. We've come out of
Mhm.
a club and somebody was
Mhm.
murdered on the vehicle, so the car was taped off. With,
What kind of
yeah,
club you going to? Crime scenes?
oh,
Y'all taking out
yeah,
this
that's what
crime
I'm
scene?
saying. Well, the clubs in DC, DC at that
Oh,
time.
okay, okay, okay. I mean, I
I
did
grew up,
too.
I was a young adult, a teen in the '90s, so it was a
Okay,
really
it's a little rougher.
crazy time. We come out the
Okay.
club and man, somebody had we literally had, and it's funny because Christine, that was our our white friend from Virginia, and my cousin Jamila, who was visiting from South Carolina
Mhm.
at the time, was with us, and they was like, "Wow, never experienced." And honestly, we never experienced it. We've been to clubs where people were shooting outside, but never come to a car. And now we had to sit and wait. We had to sit and wait for the police to file their
Wow.
report
Okay.
before we could leave. So that was scary. We've
Mhm.
been tear gassed out of a club because too many people bum rushed the door to sleep.
Tear gassed?
Yeah, and this was as a hotel,
This sound
and
like one of the movies, like a hostage situation.
this was in I was with all of my cousins and my sisters.
Okay.
Um, we went to Crystal City. It was a hotel in Crystal City, the Rare Essence reunion. And
Okay.
so people were bum rushing the door because people just love, I mean, they love Rare Essence. They was bum rushing the door and it just got crowded. So the police came in. Virginia police don't play. They came in
Mhm.
and tear gas. I think that was a bit extreme, but it is what it is. We were choked up, but it was that's how funny when you're in your 20s, your teens. It was funny to us. That wouldn't be funny to me now. I'd be pissed and ready to file a police report. But in the 20s, it was funny.
You just like, "Ooh, that was exciting."
Yeah. Sharon said she was at the discos. I know that's right. So it was exciting. It was crazy. The best fun was after the club because that's when we have our little exchanges, and that's when you start meeting people. And it's funny. I tell this story. I didn't originally meet my husband at the club, but I ran back
Mhm.
into him at the club, and I didn't want to go that night. But my cousin begged me, and I was like, okay. And that night, I ran into everybody from my old neighborhood, and I ran into him. So it was
That
destiny.
was a popping night. So the club brought y'all together. See?
Yeah, the
I'm
club.
seeing the positives already.
So that was a pro. um, but other than that, it was just like now it's like um no, because I just be like no, because you're not we used to go for a lot of different reasons, man. To get the free drinks when it was
Mhm.
ladies' night, of course we go see the
Well, I
the
still go.
the dancers. Um, oh man, I've had some very interesting stories. I don't think a time out with me, and that's why everybody want to club with me. It's not that I'm so much the party girl, but it just seems like
Mhm.
every time I go out, something unusual happens.
That
Just
makes
happens.
sense. We had some really adverse, situations. It's almost like you know how they had Pavlov's law with like the dogs, and they like shock them every time they would like try to go for something or the cheese, or they do with the mice or whatever. For you, it's going to clubs. You go in, you might get tear gassed, you might get shot at,
We got
see a
snakes
crime
in the car,
scene.
and see, my story seemed unbelievable until you talk to people that was with me that night. We were Tasha was with me, Lonnie was with me. Somebody threw a
Hmm.
snake in our car. We had the
A
windows
real
down.
snake?
A real live snake, girl. Because
What?
we wasn't trying to talk to them. It was a car full of guys, and they was like,
Why would
"Hey,
they have a snake on them?
they ignorant." They threw a
What in
snake in
the
the car.
world?
So me, I I'm not terrified of snakes. I'm
Growing up
not
Butler.
terrified.
That's what's coming in,
So they
y'all.
was
Growing
just
up
like,
Butler.
ah! So we pulled over, and they was running out the car screaming, screaming. and
Oh my gosh.
so
Okay.
then the boy came over and got the snake out the car. I was like, "You're just such an idiot, man. Not that you would ever." Cheers from Germany. Hey, we got somebody from Germany on the line. What's
Hi. Welcome.
welcome? But it was, yeah, they threw a snake in the car. I guess they was upset because we didn't want to talk to them, so they threw a snake in. What else happened? See, so
This is
yeah,
like, okay, so you had some adverse
and this
situations.
this is before cell phones. So I was
Wait a
borrowing my
minute.
mom's car,
Yeah.
and she told me to call her to check in. So I was being the mindful teenager that I was, calling my mom from a payphone, and a big rat came over. I was like, ah! So she was screaming on the phone because she thought something happened to me, and I was screaming because I was being chased
That
by a
happened to me
rat.
before, with like a whole bunch of them, like a whole parade just started like running and stuff. But
No,
that's DC at night.
it was big. It
No,
was a
I
big. I
seen
thought it was
one.
a cat. It was about as big. I
You
can't.
remember? You remember going to the waterfront in DC? You said so, guys. They used to have. They changed everything now. Now you can't even afford to live over there now, but they call it the DC Wharf now. But before they had this club. It was like what was the name of that? Zanzibar. So a
Oh,
lot of people go to
Zanzibar, yeah.
Zanzibar and I loved it because it was right on the water. It was a little tacky, it was like I don't know, like all these different colors and all this stuff, but it was cool. And they played like Jamaican and I want to say African music. But that's before it became like really popular. Before you could go places and hear Jamaican, Caribbean music, but not necessarily African music. Now you can hear African music everywhere.
Right.
And so I'm like, I'm all cute. And people are like, wow, you're tall. I'm really tall. So I had on heels. So I'm thinking, I'm going out. So I stepped, and this rat about this size, I just missed him. I almost
Ooh,
stepped on him with my heel.
he was in the
And
club.
no, 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 no. You know how
Oh,
you just going to walk? I was going to walk. He probably did go into the club because the doors be open. Like they shut them, whatever.
oh
And you're
my
right there on the water.
God.
So they're like a lot. The rat was like this big, like this big,
Oh,
and I'm getting on the curb now. It just did this, like I don't know if I caught his tail or
oh,
he was like a dog, like one of them little hot dogs. Those little dogs are like a little hot dog. He was so
oh,
big. I don't know if they eat more near the water. Somebody can message us below. Are rats bigger near the water? But that's the side piece. But
the water
yes, if
rat.
you go to club in DC and you stay out late, most likely you're gonna see it's gonna be you and visitors. They come out at night, especially you can run, don't go by any parks or whatever. That will definitely hinder your club experience. But hopefully you're too drunk enough that you just laugh it off. But if you ain't drunk or you're not tipsy, you're gonna see it. And normally I wouldn't drink that much if I went to a club because you need to be
Hey, Christy.
aware.
Christy Love joined us. Greg, what's up, Greg? How you
Hey.
doing? Oh man.
So you're telling me tell them the reason why we're talking about this topic. Like the reason why we brought it up is because I saw an article and it was this English singer, and I can't even remember her name now. Wish I can remember it. But she did a whole article about seeing her dad at the club and saying how disgusting it was for him to be out there after 40. So I'm thinking, if you don't know, I travel. I'll probably be posting some things. I like to travel a lot. So I go out. I'm not going to like go to another country and not check out how people dance, how they have fun. And sometimes they dance in the street. So sometimes you could just be walking past somewhere and everybody's dancing. So I'm not supposed to dance because I'm over 40. So I'm
No,
trying
you
to
can
figure out
dance,
the
but
concept. The dancing. So you go to clubs are not the same everywhere. So I guess I was asking you, but I think it's kind of ageist to say that because I'm over 40, I can only go to certain places. Now, I'm not saying, I will say this, how I react in clubs may be different from 20 and under. Or 30 and under, I should say. Because I feel like a lot of 30-year-olds aren't trying to do it as much.
right.
I don't like to stand in line. I may require a seat while I'm in there. I'll be looking for it. If you're over 40, if you're like me, you're going to be looking for a stool to sit on by
Yeah,
the end of the
you
night.
gotta sit down.
You gotta sit down. I don't like standing in line. But this is
Mm.
the thing though, is how I go to the club may differ. But I don't think that we cannot all be in the club. I'll get there early for happy hour, so I go to get in for free. I get to eat and drink. So I'm not like, if I do drink something, I'm not falling out. Then I leave by 12. They just coming in. I'm out of there. But I'm still having fun. I'm dancing, having my night. But when it gets so crowded that it's like a fire hazard, that's when I get uncomfortable. But I don't club. I just club differently. I don't club the same like they do. I have a seat for a long time. I may even have a table, and I do stay late. We're in some kind of VIP section, or we got a table. Like that's
Right.
how we want to. I think how we do it is different. But she literally said she thought it was disgusting. And if her dad's just there to dance, is he prowling for girls? Like, what are y'all
Well,
thoughts?
and see, that's gonna be the next topic.
Prowling
Okay.
for young girls,
Hmm.
that might be different. But if you're like me, what if dancing is just, if I go to salsa clubs, there's no age restriction for salsa. They don't go and say, sir, you're too old to be in here. I'm thinking it depends on what type of club it is and what type of music they're listening to. So maybe her dad was in like more of one of those dance clubs, or maybe they're playing hip hop, maybe they're playing the top 40s. Like, is that what matters? Because you know what I'm saying? Then we start getting like, so that's what I'm trying to say. Do we have the right to say how someone over 30 or over 40 should or can club? Do we
Mm,
have the right to judge that?
hmm.
Or is it
Well,
circumstances that, because like I said, salsa doesn't have age, salsa doesn't
right,
have these restrictions.
right,
And you're dancing the whole time. So what's the concept? So when we say club, what do we really mean? What's the concept of that?
right. I think it's a different era that
Mm-hmm.
maybe the millennials grew up in, that we, the Generation Xers, and
Okay.
it,
Okay.
because clubs were clubs. There's no
Mm-hmm.
lounges. There was no seating.
Got
You
you.
came to the club to drink, dance,
You gonna
maybe post
stand.
up, check people out,
Mm-hmm.
etc., etc. Um, we joke about that all the time. It's the
We got
Alan,
seats and
like
lounges and
guys from
food.
DC that were from DC don't dance. That's why the
Yeah.
Fat Joe song "Lean Back, Lean Back." When they
See,
too
now
cool to dance, and the only
now
time they
everybody's
will
not from
get
there.
buck is at a go go. Then at that time, they're
Oh,
not really
okay.
dancing with the females. They really just like going
Dancing by
wild, and they just
themselves.
like expressing themselves, jumping all over the place. So
Okay.
it was a totally different thing. Now you have your mixed ages. I personally don't want to see my dad at a club. Well, my dad is going on to glory, but
So is it the
if he was
music?
still with us,
Is it the music?
um, just the music. Like I listen to different genres of music. I'm a music lover.
Right.
I'm an avid music
Mm-hmm.
lover. You can't peg one type of music on me. My main
Right.
music of choice is R&B, but if you playing something from the '90s, something current, some trap music, I'll dance. And
Mm-hmm.
then again, how I feel about dancing here, it's just I can't dance because then it becomes borderline disrespectful. Okay. I'm
Okay. So
married.
people don't have
I would love to
boundaries.
go to a spot with my husband and dance, but he doesn't
Uh-huh.
prefer those
Oh,
type
you
of
just do the
places.
dancing thing. Okay.
If we're on vacation or out of the
Mm-hmm.
country, I'm sure he would go and be more comfortable. He feels like that guys will be disrespectful, and they can be. But then that's when
Okay.
because going through clubs back in the day, you walk through, somebody's grabbing your butt, like literally, and you can't turn around and slap everybody because you don't know who did it, but it's somebody pulling you
Specs,
up.
specs, specs, specs.
I'm just like, yeah, you're slapping everybody. Go down the road. I'd be like, man. So it was
I
kind of
mean,
degrading because
yeah.
and then some women like that attention. So it
Yeah,
just
they
depends
do.
on what you're looking for. Like I've never been happy for
Some
nobody
men
to
like
grab
that
me by
attention.
no, you don't know me,
I
you don't
think.
touch me. So I'm like, no. But some women like that type of attention. They're not getting it on a regular basis. So if
Oh my
somebody
god.
slaps their ass, they all right. They be like, yay. That's what I came to the club and wore this little dress for.
But some men
Um,
like it too.
yeah, some men,
I've been seeing men getting grabbed. Like,
yeah,
hey, like coming up to them, talking to them, rubbing up on them. I see that, happen. So
yeah.
I'm
And I
I,
hold on one second before let me. We used to have the club like it was a club called the Mirage. They would have
okay.
specific nights for specific. So they would have college night. So you know that
Mm-hmm.
the young folks are going to be there. They would have grown and sexy night. They would have gay night. So you would
Mm-hmm.
know what days of the week to go. And I think that made it easier because
Mm-hmm.
whatever your comfort level was, that's where
Mm-hmm.
you could go to.
They
Now it's
segregating dance.
huh?
I
Well,
see it as
because
like a.
you don't wanna be in a club. My sisters used to hang out with my mom and go out. That wasn't my thing.
Mhm,
There's older people. I wasn't cool,
mhm.
comfortable dancing with my aunts and my if it's a family reunion, yeah. If it's a club, no. Because I mean, it's not that I'm doing anything explicit. It's just that I want to keep those things separate. And I
Right,
think that was just for me. That's just me. That's just me. I
right.
don't want to be partying, and I don't want to be partying with my niece. Well, my niece, we're a little closer in age, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But let's just
Mhm.
say her daughter start going to the club, and I'm in my 50s. I don't want to see her at the at the club. We don't. We just it would probably make her feel uncomfortable, or
Mhm.
and then I don't know. It just while you're
But
there,
it's so you're not saying that people over 40. That's what I'm saying. So, um, I'm 40, but people say I don't look 40. So maybe I could get away with being in a club. But I remember hanging out with one of my friends, and they were like around your boy's age, and I remember hearing them. Oh, he go. Oh, they got the old ladies up in here, or something like that. I want to say you little, but um, and
I'm like,
I
hey,
don't know because people, because all my friends, all my friends of different ages and stuff. So
right,
you know, but it's never really happened to me before. But I was like, okay, this is different. But I didn't feel comfortable being there, but not because everybody was young, because it was mixed. It was
right,
mixed, whatever. I didn't feel comfortable being there because I didn't like the music. It was European, like, music, but it was different. It wasn't like it was like dun, 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 that thing, and I couldn't relate and I couldn't dance. So culturally, I mean, I should say I didn't like the music. I didn't understand the music. Music is music. So
right,
culturally, that's where I was more or less thrown off. So the vibe wasn't comfortable for me. But it wasn't like just it was a open space, open venue. It was literally and I lie to you not, in a castle. So it was like, and we were
that would have
staying
been
in the
cool.
castle. Yeah, it was real bougie.
Now, see, I
Check
probably
out
would have had fun.
Croatia. Y'all see that? We know whatever. I mean, I
I
don't know.
probably would
You
have
have to
had
go see
fun
it. Because
in
Croatia
those
has castles, but
small
some parts of Europe have castles.
right,
Check out Croatia if y'all like it. But um, in certain parts of Italy and in England. So the thing is that when you're in Europe, it's like everything's old. It's like very, very, very old. So um, people are just walking and hear music and you come up. I mean, like, oh, what's going on? They still do the cover charges and all that stuff. But it wasn't my kind of music, but it was my friend's music. So we went in. But I remember hearing that and I was just like, oh, okay. So can we not be here? This is a public forum.
right,
It's not like a Pacific one. And, this is a public club because you're in the middle of a building with restaurants, all kind of stuff. And everybody of certain ages were going in there. But I remember hearing it like, oh, the old ladies are coming in here. And I thought it was funny because I didn't want to be there, but not because I thought I was too old to be in that venue. Because one, you couldn't understand the music; it was just people dancing.
right,
It's because the music was something I couldn't relate to. It was a music of a certain culture, and possibly we could say that maybe it's younger people music, but I can't say that because I saw people of different ages and stuff.
right,
Um, I mean, it didn't matter, but it was just having fun. I was in another country. I don't know if that's like an American, it was like a global thing where it's like you can't go there, or when you're on vacation, it's different because you're a tourist and you're checking out stuff and people don't look at you as crazy. Um, but they might have been saying that because it was a lot of older. I don't even know they were talking about me per se, but it was some older people in there. But we were in a tourist spot and they
right,
decided to set up a club in the middle of a tourist spot. So what do? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sit
right,
in my room. It's like being on
right,
a cruise ship. Nobody
right,
checks and say, "Oh Lord, they go old geezer over there." People just party together, right? Because it's the
right.
only place you can go to party. It was no like, I mean, you can go to a lounge, listen to the piano player, but I don't want to do that. Listen to the piano player. I go to party. So I'm not going to be like, oh, my mom coming to that
I need to
party
go
because there's
see
nothing
a
else to
I
do on
need
the
to go see
cruise.
an opera.
Yeah, like they had a little piano bar and all that stuff.
Right,
So I like to dance. So I don't care where I'm going, as long as there's some kind of music, I'm going to dance. So I think it depends on your preferences. Some people just don't care about the dancing that deep. But the only place I can do that is at someone's house at a party or if I go out dancing. But salsa doesn't have those restrictions. I mean, everybody, and I don't know why. Maybe because it's universal, all ages do it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a cultural thing.
I think
Um,
so.
a lot of I've gone to a lot of my friends from different African countries have parties. They party late. They like to party at home, and the kids are up. Where Americans more like to put the kids to bed, and they're not
Mm,
participating in the festivities, if especially if there's alcohol involved. Most of the kids are away from the adults. So I think
right.
it's a cultural thing.
Hmm.
I think it's a preference. I mean,
True.
honestly, when you see the old men at the club, what are you thinking? You thinking they thirsty?
You
Most of
mean
them
trolling?
married.
They could be there
They
for
trolling.
half an hour, like me.
They looking for
I
the
get
young girls, and
approached.
um, that's what they're doing. I mean, the
Now,
same thing that they're
okay,
doing when
now
they were younger
reasoning.
and at the clubs. Honestly, I mean,
Right. I mean, we don't like it, but do they have the right to talk to younger women? Which is I think I sent you something with someone saying they only wanted younger women, but you'll see it. But it's, I think the guy said he only wanted women between 21 to 25, but then he said he wanted them to have be self-sufficient and have money. Really? How many women got a lot of money between 20? I'm sorry, 21 and 24? How many
uh,
women? He said because older women got baby daddies. Like so I'm like, and then I was thinking, knowing we are going to have this, you'll see it. I sent it to you. I'm like, so is that why they going to the clubs?
and
Like they get someone
some men
21 to
love older
24?
women because they don't want to have any more
They don't
babies.
want all that.
They don't want no
Yeah, they
babies.
don't
They don't
want
want
to
no
have
drama.
that.
They want somebody established and nobody. So it again,
It's
it's
just
a preference. I think you have to do what you feel comfortable with, and if you feel comfortable and you don't feel crazy, me either way. I don't want to go too young. I don't want to go too old. I don't. I
mm-hmm.
like being around my peers. I like being
Yeah.
comfortable when I'm out. I can't really enjoy myself if if it's just not. I like dancing too, but again, it's
Yeah, you
a
do.
lot of responsibility as a married woman that comes with that.
Oh, that's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic. But I just don't like the
Depends on the
club
preference of your
atmosphere
husband. You and your husband.
because I the same reason why I didn't like it in my 20s. You see the same
Yeah.
people. Most people are out there trying to now you
To
can have an
troll.
event. Like now
Hmm.
they have parties. I think they used to have parties at clubs, but not so much.
Hotel parties.
They would
Hotel
have
parties.
parties, baby showers. Most likely you're at a restaurant that turns into a club. That wasn't the case back
Hmm.
then. So
Right.
it's a little different now. And I wouldn't say
More
club
variety.
club per se. And people have
Hmm.
events. I like going to events. So I'm not a
Right.
clubber. I'm not a
Right.
lounger, but I will go to an event. If we go to like we've been to kidney balls and um
Hmm.
I've been to grand openings of restaurants and so many things, but it ended up turning into a party because where there's music, there'll be dancing.
Hmm.
You got food, you got drinks. It turns into that. So I will go to events where there'll be at weddings. I mean, that's not a club, but you're dancing. So I feel there's so many other venues for me to
Hmm.
participate in that a club is not something that I would, um,
So
go to.
yeah, so the concept we're thinking about the concept of the club has changed. So it may not be as cookie cutter. Because you're right. Before, I mean, I was I probably ended the 90s, but I know when I didn't start until maybe 2000, 2001. I mean, because I was 18 to 99, so I wasn't going to be out there like that anyway. But although I know some of my classmates were, they were probably sneaking in. But
That's the best way to go.
before, yeah, before, you're right. You would go and stand in a room. Somebody tried to grab you. It was uncomfortable. It was, but that was me in my 20s. It was uncomfortable in my 20s, so it would be uncomfortable for me at any age, the way it used to be. But
Right,
now, like you said, it's just you can go from happy hour to dinner to dancing, and
right,
all of it can happen in one room. Before you had to go to like probably a couple of different venues to get that experience. But restaurants want it all now, so now it's a little different. Everybody just hire a little DJ, put them on the side, and before you know it, it's a club. They
right.
clear the floor. Um, shout out to the park. A lot of people that was a go-to, but the food was good. The happy hours were fun, and they had 3 or 4 different areas. You could hear different music, so they learned how to like capitalize on it to get you to stay. And you were having so much fun. You may stay like 10 or 11, but I never stayed to 12 because as I got older, I didn't want to have to fight my way just to walk out, you know. And I don't like that, they pack them to the capacity. So I guess it's really about comfort. I don't really see too many older men, like not way older, in the park, because by the time it turns into like 12 o'clock, you're talking about a packed house. And
Right.
you might want to be. If I'm a man, I don't think I want to be rubbing up backs with somebody else and trying to dance. It's like no space. So I think it's about comfort too. That
Right.
maybe certain venues we wouldn't go to or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you have space and you out of town, you in Miami or Vegas, I don't care if if somebody's telling me, hey, if the club's um in my hotel, right? And I can just walk downstairs or walk on a rooftop. I'm not gonna be like, wait, it's on the 20th. Is this, what night is this? I'm having fun. I'm on vacation. So I guess
Right.
it depends on the circumstances and where
Right.
you're at. Maybe we're more choosy where we live because we can run into people that we know. Maybe that's what makes it more
Again,
choosy.
I just it would have to be as an event, or like I said, if I'm at happy hour and then
It just
it
turns
turns
into
into a
it.
club, and then I'm
hmm
just and it's usually restaurants is usually like a mixed crowd. So it's not the same. You're not gonna see the same people, but speaking of the park, the, their food is good.
Yeah.
But I saw that my goddaughter was at the park. I was like, I do not want to be nowhere with nobody whose diapers I changed. So
They
I was
have
like,
some
oh
grown
my
events sometimes
gosh.
too.
I like
Yeah,
now
that's
that
true.
is off the and even if it was just a restaurant, yeah, but I'm just like, and then you're not doing, I don't know. I guess like you said, it's just I
I mean,
don't
I don't
think
go
there should
anymore,
be an
but
age restriction,
hmm
but it's whatever you feel comfortable with and
hmm
whoever makes you feel comfortable. Like I said, some people don't mind the age difference. Again, too old was I went to a cabaret. That's what it's called. When my grandmother was part, when my mother lied to me and said it's gonna be people there your age. So me and my friend went with her, and yeah, no one was there our age. No one was there, even my mother's age.
I went with
Everybody
my
was
friend
my
Jackie.
grandmother's age, and they was having a ball, but I assuredly was not. I was drinking so I could forget my problems. I was
I had a
I was
ball. I
asking,
see that's see. Shout
I was
out to
like, "What is
Jackie.
this?" We had like they had on pimp suits and velvet liners inside their jacket. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
It was I can
I was
have
like,
y'all. I
"Come
can have
on!"
fun anywhere, even if everybody's older.
And
I
then
just
I wasn't getting up. I wasn't getting up. I wasn't dancing. My
you
mother was
didn't
like, "Go ahead
dance.
and dance." My friend, this man came behind her, and he had to be like 60, 70. He was like, "Hey, baby," and my was funny and shit.
So y'all went to y'all were out of
It
place.
was so funny. I was like, "Oh my god, this man is old enough to be your grandfather." And she was, I droned on her the whole way home. I was like, he was like, "Hey, baby, I would lick you up and down your spine." We was like, "What?"
Oh wow.
Damn, old man, you gonna get worms.
Lick you up and down your spine. Golly. Okay.
Woo! We laughed
I,
about that.
I must be.
So yeah. Um,
I went to a cabaret. Jackie pulled me out, and we had the best time of our life. And to be honest, the older men were more gentlemen. It wasn't like no turn you around, do all this stuff to you, whatever. It was more like they were really dancing. This 7 year old, they played James Brown. He did a
mhm.
twist and went into a split and got back up. It was the
Oh
best
Lord.
dancing I've ever seen. Cause like you said, you mentioned it at go-go's in certain places, guys in our area don't necessarily dance. They may do a
Right,
two-step, but you don't see a
right.
lot of guys dancing. So for me, I love dancers. So it was exciting to see people actually doing real dances, and we had a great time. And I'm glad I went. One of the guys that we went with, one of the guys we worked with, he was older. He's passed away now, and that was like my best memory with him. If I hadn't gone, I wouldn't even had no fun and stuff. We had a great time with them, and so shout out to Mr. Butler. But it was really like a lot of fun. But see, I like to dance, so I guess it depends on your mindset. And I know with you, when you get up, people start acting kind of y'all. They
Yeah.
start acting a little crazy. She just can't enjoy herself.
Oh.
She just
I
can't
don't
enjoy
know. It's
herself
a
like
curse.
the normal people. I don't know what this is. Some
It's a
weirdos want
curse.
to come.
I can't even live my life, man.
No,
Can't
I
live
had
my-
a
At any
little.
age, I can't live my life. They won't let me
We
be
had little
great.
stalkers, but we just danced with our little stalkers, and we had
And
a great time.
I also get the dance challenges. Now
Oh
I'm
yeah,
an
yeah,
okay
yeah.
dancer. I'm not super fabulous and I'm not terrible. I'm somewhere in the middle. So, but for some reason, I get my supercharged dance buddies that come, and it was so funny that my cousin had to
It's
say,
true.
"Okay, she's finished dancing." He was like, he was a I don't he was gay. He was and he just wanted to dance challenge me. He was like, "Come on, girl, come on." He was just like I was like, "Wait, my feet hurt." We was dancing for like an hour straight. I done lost about 20 pounds. I was like, "Sir, please." He was like, "Uh-uh." We was just on it, and like all eyes was on us, and he was just like living his best life, and my feet was hurting. But I was like, "You're not gonna out dance me. We're gonna be here all night." That was fun.
Now,
I
have you
was
done
just
a
like,
dance
oh,
challenge
my
since you
feet
turned
wasn't
40?
having a good time, but that was really fun.
Have you done one
Yeah.
since you turned 40? Since turning this year 40, have you done a dance challenge? That's it. Maybe
No,
we
I've
was
no more
tired,
dance
y'all.
challenges.
We
I'm
just
gonna have to keep my flats on because
That's fucked over 40. I
girl.
guess we just
I
get
had on
kind
some
of like
stilettos. I was just like, oh, my feet. That was like,
see,
oh.
we need conditions. That's all. We can be out there with y'all. We got little conditions. Number one, we're not standing in nobody's line. Okay. We're not standing in nobody's line. I'm gonna have a reservation. I'm gonna get there for happy hour. I'm gonna find me a seat.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, you gotta have some food. You gotta have some food.
Yeah, they didn't
Sorry.
have that back in the day either.
Yeah,
At
we like to eat
Garage, they
now.
did. You had to
Yeah,
get some
yeah.
chicken wings and French fries. That was all they had.
But we need to eat. That draws us out to be able to eat. Because if we dancing and we drinking, we gonna need something to
Right.
carry us home. So we need some food. And I think it oh, I said number two, but number three was you gotta have a seat. I have to find myself a seat. I cannot stand all day. I'm probably not gonna wear heels. That should probably be number four because I know I'll be standing all day. So if you're wondering who's over 35, they probably got on flats. If they're coming for anybody's party, they may have on heels. If they do have on heels, they're gonna have flats in their purse.
Yep.
Young
Or they'll
girls,
be sitting there rubbing their
y'all
feet.
stand all night in those heels. And I'm just like, why? And you're gonna pay for it later. Right now, their feet are pretty. They're gonna be jacked up
You
some
gonna have
years
bunions.
later.
You gonna have
Yeah,
bunions.
bunions and
Dress
corns and all kinds of
appropriately,
stuff.
ladies. Dress appropriately.
Yeah, yo, I mean, y'all dress really sexy and cute, but I mean, by that 12 o'clock hour, I see people leaning, trying to find a wall, trying to find a lap, anything,
Put on your UGG
because
boots. Put on your
they
UGG
have the
boots.
UGG
Your
boots.
flat.
You can't really bring no big bag in, so you might as well have your flats and be comfortable. So
Put
that's
your
how I can
turtlenecks
spot.
on.
Okay, she might be a little older, or she's not older. She got an older mindset, So there's key ways to recognize us in these young people club. We definitely going to be sitting down at some point.
Yeah.
Not
No.
everybody, but I'm just saying. I'm just
And
telling you.
we're gonna have VIP tables. Why?
Yes,
'Cause you can afford
we're
it.
gonna have VIP table. Well, we make more.
We're gonna have VIP tables. We want drinks. We want our food brought to us. We don't be walking
Yes.
around. We didn't earn our stripes.
I don't like begging, and I've been out with Yuva, staying around begging for drinks. So it's the thing that I see is the whole club experience. I can understand the way, especially the way it used to be, how that would be annoying as you get older. You just don't want to stand around all night. You don't want to do those
Yeah, that was
things. You want to have
annoying.
comforts.
And
You've
then
earned your comforts. So
it
maybe that's
was
the
terrible.
reason why it's
And
not popular.
maybe that's why I'm in that mindset now,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember how it was when I used to go to the club, because it's
I can
like
imagine that.
I bought my own drinks, but for some reason when a guy bought you a drink, he thought he owned you for the
Oh,
evening.
okay.
He'd be like, dog. He'd be like, oh, you dancing with other people? He'd be like, ninja. I'd be like, hold up. So then
They do.
but then if you don't accept the drink, they get mad at
Or
you.
you got bottle service, you don't need
You
it.
like,
You got
you
people
stuck
trying
up.
to get to your group.
Right. You stuck up, and so it was just it was too much thinking and planning, and safety issues going on in my day. Back in my day.
Okay. So that's not for, that may not be. Well, y'all check, y'all let us know what you think. Is that not for anybody? I would say even over 30. I've had 30-year-olds tell me I don't want to do that anymore. Anybody 30 and up, leave us a comment, let us know, are we off? Are we on? Am I right? You're right. I don't think there's no right or wrong. I think it's really boils down to comfort level. I just don't agree with assuming that somebody's a purge because you see them dancing in the club. And I was asking you, I said, is that ages to say you can't be there? Just like someone would be racist. Would it be ages to be like, you can't be in a certain setting because only this amount of people? That's kind of like what the girl was saying. Like, he's not allowed. And I know that was her dad, so I got that part. But she was saying nobody over 40 should be in this place. And I'm like, if I'm not from here, I don't know. You're in London or something. How am I supposed to know what type of club it is? You know what I'm saying? Somebody could say, check out this venue, they have fun. And you're going to tell me because I'm 40, I can't step in the door? I got a problem with that. I have a problem with that. I'm like, who are you?
She was just probably.
She said no one. She said nobody. Nobody with old butts should be stepping in the door.
Because you typically want to be, especially in your hometown,
with your group, right?
In your peer group,
right?
Because you can be yourself. You know the dance moves. You don't want to be out there doing the robot.
And I do most of the time when older people go in, they be just standing on the wall drinking, watching the young people dance. I rarely see them out. You know what I'm saying? They're like out there trying to like keep up. When you do, okay, yes, they are a spectacle, and that person is probably trying to get something. But for the most part, they got VIP seats. The man is a gentleman, has pulled out a seat for his wife or his girlfriend. She's sitting at the bar, they're watching, or they're just standing at the bar watching. But she said you cannot enter into this space if you're 40 and up. And I was like, I don't agree with that. That's why I started thinking, like, we talk about people shouldn't be at the club and all this stuff, and that's our opinions. But is it right to tell people that what they should or should not do? That's the part that bothered me. So anyway,
well, there you have it, people. You have it from Robin that she's gonna club until she's 80.
I sure is. I'll be on the little senior boat with my little shuffling board, just dancing to the music, remembering.
And me, I like to dance, but I'm gonna save my dancing for my hubby. I'm gonna force him to go out and make him dance with me, and then I do like dancing. It's great. It's fun at events. I will not seek to go to a club. I will not seek to, because like I said, I'm just over that whole facade.
Just don't talk about me if you see me out there. Don't talk about me.
I ain't gonna talk about you. I'm gonna be your biggest fan. Go Robin. Go Robin.
I might have a few young ones lined up. Y'all don't know. Most of the time we go, they just party with us. They don't.
Hey, I let people live their lives. If you like it, I love it. But don't.
I can get my exercise on.
Like, don't try to give me the gap. Like,
y'all, she goes. If I ask her to go, she go.
I'll be sitting down, sipping on my drink, like laughing.
Salsa is forever. There's no age limit. Okay, everybody goes salsa dancing. Salsa is like a hobby now. It's like a hobby. Like let's go, pottery or whatever. That's how they see salsa. Let's go salsa dancing. Like it's what I'm saying? It's a thing to do. It's like going like, let's go to a paint party. So I don't know. They don't have those restrictions, but everything else does. I've just noticed that. So that's okay. You will see my old behind in there. Also dancing.
Drop it low.
Yeah, I'm gonna be good and spry because I've been out there dancing all my life.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm practicing some other form of exercise. Tai Chi or something, I can't.
I'm gonna do that too.
I'll be like, I'll be doing my Tai Chi. dancing in my room. But no, if that's your preference, dance on. Some people have promotional parties and stuff, so they do that for a living. So they have to be at the club. It's different reasons. Like I said, your reason, if you're celebrating a party and it turns into a club like atmosphere, that's cool. Um, for me,
Everybody
like if you're
remembers
out
my
of town,
parties. We had dancing, whether they did it or not.
right?
We had music.
And I would just suggest that you find. I don't know if everybody does this, but find something that's like you said. You went to the club in Germany. Maybe they have a more Americanized club. Maybe you ask one of the locals,
Yeah, they
"Hey,
do play a lot of American music. I just didn't understand the music I was hearing was more of what we call it, European house. That's what it was.
and me
So it
with
was just
my silly
different.
behind, I would
I
have
didn't
been
know
in
how to
there
dance to it.
dancing." They'd have been like, "What you doing,
I
house?"
mean, yeah, eventually I did because I was like, I'm gonna have fun. I got to have fun anywhere. But
Yeah,
listen,
yeah,
y'all old biddies.
I went there. I didn't used to like house music, but I worked in Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Wow.
was really partying.
Techno,
So
techno music, techno music.
yeah, I went in there and they was dancing, and I was like, "Watch me act a fool." My sister was laughing at me. She was like, "Girl, you are crazy." I was in house music. I was like, "Oh." Voguing, snapping, like, "What y'all
Just
want to see
having
me?"
fun. Well, see, you have fun wherever you go. So there you
I
go,
do,
folks.
I
Let us
do.
know. Let us know what
Let
y'all
us
think.
know. Click like and
Are you
click
too
share.
old to
If you're on
club after
YouTube,
40?
if you're on Facebook, what's up, y'all? Our friend from Germany said he wants to shave his head live stream. No, thank you, boo. No, we don't need to see that. You didn't say that for another show. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate y'all. And check us out on our new time Wednesdays at 6ish. At
We'll say
6.
6:15.
6:15. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
6:15 works. That allows for technical difficulties. Which yeah. Okay. So
We'll do
thank you for joining
6:15.
4T, y'all. See y'all next week.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thanks for hanging with us. Bye.